Hello, my absolutely beautiful astrology soulmates. It's me, Stormie Grace, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for the week of July 26th, where this is the last week in July, and we're making our way into August. I cannot even believe that we have closed out this first 7 months of the year. It has been incredible. We've seen a lot. We've done a lot of recovery, and this week I think brings us back to some things that we need to actually get ready to close out before the planets begin to come out of retrograde, before we move into the fall time frame, and certainly before we head into 2022. So let's get in here and talk about what's going on this week. But first, let's keep in mind that this week will be the last week of class that you will have for 3 weeks in the YouTube Academy. So you have a chance to go back over the next 3 weeks, rewatch classes you need to, get caught up, ask questions underneath the videos. If you have questions underneath the videos, we will answer them on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So make sure you take this time, enjoy the break, go back and watch all of those goodies and get caught up and get yourself ready for the 2022 YouTube Academy that will be launching just shortly. More details coming up on that, okay? All right, so right at the beginning of the week as we're coming in, we're going to see Mercury move into the energy of Leo, and this is going to be happening on the 27th. Now, Mercury is really on the stage this week, mostly because it's going to come together at the end of the week in a conjunction with the sun and get this really nice boost of energy. But first, Mercury has to get on the move. It moves out of that slower moving energy of Cancer and into the energy of Leo. Now, the way that we talk, the way that we think, the way that we are communicating, deals that we are signing, they are starting to take on a more fixed fire energy, since that's the essence of Leo. You could find yourself being much more expressive this week. You could find other people being much more expressive in a global scene and on the global stage. I think we will see a ton of expression coming from all over the world in different respects and different manners. So look for a lot of information to be coming to your plate this week. Not to mention, depending on where you are in the world, this is the time right before the kids are getting ready to go back to school. So you're definitely getting those emails, the school supply list, everything like that that is demanding a very, hey, here's information, you need to do something with it, that will allow steady burn of fire, right? Fixed fire, that's Leo energy. So you'll definitely be able to see this speed and pace of information pick up as Mercury moves into Leo. Now on the 28th, a pretty important day, I really want you to mark this on your calendars, okay? We're going to see transiting Jupiter, who is retrograde and moved forward into the energy of Pisces. He's going to be retrograding and coming back now into the energy of Aquarius. I think this is so important to understand this particular movement. Jupiter moved into the energy of Aquarius in December 19th, 2020. And we've seen that energy playing through all the way until May, and then it moved forward into Pisces and now is coming back. What it gives you the opportunity to do is to still retrograde, you guys. Go back over something at a grouping level, something that is individually important to you to add to the group. Go back over it. Don't start something new. Instead, review it, right? Unless it was something you've been thinking about. Maybe you wrote a couple portions of that book and now you need to go ahead and go back to redo it, to finish it, to launch it out. Remember, Jupiter energy is going to want to do this. It's going to want to expand you in some way. It's wisdom and expansion on high. But usually, because it's in the energy of Aquarius right now, it's going to be around groupings. So take this opportunity to go back and see what expanded really quickly in your life during that time frame, and where you need to go back over, maybe pare down on something. Maybe you said yes to too many commitments. You know, are you teaching someplace? Are you sharing someplace? Do you have wisdom and experience to bring someplace? Did you take on something that is just too much, and now you need to go back and either finish those projects or go back and say, no thank you, I actually can't fully commit and be really of service to all of this information. Now on a global scale, I think that Jupiter and Aquarius, we will definitely see things happening in the world where teachers, information, things like that may be coming out that actually helps us to move forward. It may be information, it may be science. Maybe we're catching up on science or tech that's been developed in this time, and now we're getting to relook over it so that we can see how it's going to be helpful moving forward. Now remember, you're going to want to check your chart to see where Jupiter in Aquarius is coming back into in your particular chart, okay? All right, as we get to the 29th, we're going to see Mars hit in opposition with Jupiter, who's retrograde. This is in the morning time. And then when we get to the rest of the day, Mars is going to move into the energy of Virgo. So let's talk about this opposition first. Now, Mars, our energy of action. Let's move, let's do stuff. I'm pointing forward. I want to get going over in the energy of Leo. So very comfortable in a fire energy, okay? It's opposing Jupiter, who's retrograde in the energy of Aquarius. So as these two come together, this is a confident energy. Maybe you even feel like you have a little bit of swag behind you. Something feels very good from the solar plexus up. But what I want to tell you is don't start the new stuff unless it is something that was already on the plate before and now you're getting to bring it to culmination. You're going to probably have a lot of good energy available to you, and what you don't want to do is take on more than you can chew. Instead, let this make you feel good. Let this help you jump into projects that you need to be finishing up, and so that you can use all that Mars energy to get them done, okay? Now, later in the day, Mars will move into the energy of Virgo, so the actions that we'll take on will become quite meticulous. We will be detail-oriented in what we're doing, and what better energy to help us wrap up retrograde, this particular Jupiterian energy that's been brought to our table, than discernment. What are the priorities? What do I need to be paying attention to? Where do I need to put my head, where my hands are at, and focus on just that? Where do I need to be actually doing, Mars, what I need to be doing to get things done? Now, as we're going to close out this week on Sunday, busy, energetic day on Sunday. Busy, busy, busy bees, okay? So we've got the Sun and Mercury coming together at 10 degrees of Aquarius. They're going to come together in a conjunction. And when the Sun and Mercury, they never travel far from one another. When they come together, though, it's a special meeting in the sky, and it's like Mercury gets this drink of energy, light, heat, life, and vitality. They commit to each other in a way in the sky that I don't think we feel this energy any other time except for when these two come together. At 10 degrees of Leo, we are looking good, smelling right, feeling like putting ourselves out there. That big, bold lion is available for us, from our hearts to our heads to our spirits. It's available. It's a very big, delicious energy. But as they come together in this conjunction, they are both going to run into an opposition with Saturn, who is retrograde in the energy of Aquarius. The opposition tells us it's right across the street in the opposing sign. Now, as the Sun and Mercury and Saturn come into this aspect and this dance with one another, I can tell you the energy may feel like, oh man, I kind of want to shake it off a little bit. You know, I just want to shake it off. I want to put some things down, and this is not the day. Saturn is retrograde. Jupiter is retrograde. They're both in the energy of Aquarius. This is a time to go back, finish up. Serious mindedness does need to come to the table, but you can love what you do. The Sun and Mercury are in our joy sign, right? How can you release the opposition, the tension of pulling like you're going in two different directions, my insides, my outsides, my work, my play? How can you bridge the gap, create a compromise, meet in the middle? That's how you use an opposition. Where can you find the joy in finishing up what needs to be done? I think that this is a phenomenal use of this energy. And you may be feeling like, look, I just want to break free. Stormie, it's summertime. Oh, when does it ever get better? Any of these things could come to light for you. I'm telling you, I understand the energy, but I just want you to focus in on Sunday that this is a time to pare down, but find the joy in the discernment and the work that needs to be done, because this is the stuff that as you finish it is going to catapult you forward as we start to see these outer planets come out of retrograde when we get to October on. I mean, you're really setting your own delicious table for snacks that you get to eat later. And you know how I feel about snacks, okay? All right, my beautiful friends, I think it's got the potential to be an absolutely beautiful week. Make sure you are checking your charts to see where all of these energies are happening in your particular chart, so you know where you can really hone in and focus in. For me, this beautiful conjunction of Sun and Mercury is going to be happening in my 12th house. And do I have some behind the scenes projects? Yes, I do. Do they need to be finished up so I can bring them out to you guys? Yes, they do. And speaking of which, next week I've got a very big, very cool announcement for us Astrology Soulmate family, and I cannot wait to bring it to you. So I hope you have a good week. Let me know what's going on with you in the comment section down below, and I will catch up with you as we travel this week, okay? All right, my friends, like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I love you a ton, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.